All right, so somebody out there wants to know if they can turn $100 into a cool million by the end of November.
And they want to do it with crypto.
Yeah, crypto. That's the challenge they've thrown at us for this deep dive.
Mhm.
$100 to a million in what, like 3 weeks?
Ambitious.
That's one way to put it. I mean, we all dream of those crazy crypto wins. But is this even remotely possible?
Well, the crypto market is definitely heating up right now. Bitcoin's pushing 95,000.
I saw that. Yeah, there's definitely some buzz out there.
So there's potential, but let's not get carried away. $1 million from $100. That's a 1,000% increase.
Okay, so maybe not a sure thing.
Not exactly, but the source material we're looking at today does outline 3 strategies. They're super high risk, but they could lead to some massive gains, theoretically.
Ooh, lay 'em on me.
Mem coins, low-cap gems, and leverage trading.
Mem coins, those are those coins with the crazy names that go viral, right?
Exactly, like they explode out of nowhere. It's all about viral marketing and online communities pumping up the hype.
So basically gambling.
Pretty much, meme coins are purely speculative. Their value isn't really tied to any real-world use or technology. It's all about capturing that fleeting moment of online attention.
So you could win big, but you could also lose everything.
Exactly. High risk, high reward.
Okay, so maybe meme coins aren't the ticket to $1 million. What about those low-cap gems? They sound a bit more promising.
Think of them as hidden treasures, undervalued cryptocurrencies with the potential to skyrocket. They often have smaller market values compared to the big players, and their prices can be really volatile. But if you pick the right one at the right time, well, let's just say the upside could be huge.
Okay, so how do you find these so-called gems? Is it just luck?
Luck plays a part, for sure, but you got to do your research. Look beyond the hype and dig into the fundamentals. What problem is the project trying to solve? Does it have a strong team? Is the technology actually innovative? You need to separate the substance from the noise. And there's a lot of noise out there.
Right, lots of noise. Okay, so that's meme coins and low-cap gems. What about this leverage trading thing? It sounds kind of complicated.
It can be leverage, basically amplifies your gains, but it also amplifies your losses.
It's like a double-edged sword.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool, but definitely not for beginners. You need a deep understanding of the market and the risks involved. Otherwise, you could get burned.
So maybe not the best strategy for someone starting with just $100, unless they're feeling really lucky.
I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, it's crypto. Anything's possible, right?
True. So the article we're looking at today actually gives some concrete examples of cryptos they think could have potential. Cardano, Dog with Hat, and Loopring. Have you heard of these?
I have, and they actually represent each of the strategies we've been talking about. Cardano, or ADA is what it's usually called. It's been making some moves lately. Its price has doubled recently, and it seems to have broken free from a pretty long period of slow growth, like it was stuck in a rut.
Sounds promising. But what does that mean for someone thinking about investing?
Well, the article suggests there might be more upward momentum for Cardano. They've even done some chart analysis to show how you could potentially time your entry and exit points, especially if you're using leverage.
So timing is key. Got it. Now, what about Dog with Hat? I gotta admit, that name caught my attention.
Yeah, it's definitely memorable. Dog with Hat falls squarely into the meme coin category. We're talking big price surges, but it's all based on hype and community buzz.
So how do you know if the hype is gonna last?
You don't. It's a gamble. You're essentially betting on the psychology of the crowd, and that can change in an instant.
Okay. Risky business. And lastly, we've got Loopring. What's the deal with that one?
Loopring's being presented as one of those potential low-cap gems. The article highlights that it's trading at a pretty low price right now, around 10 cents, and they suggest this could be a good entry point for investors who believe it has the potential to climb significantly.
Interesting. So whether it's Cardano, Dog with Hat, or Loopring, it seems like timing is everything.
Yeah.
But let's not forget our original goal here. We're trying to see if it's actually possible to turn $100 into $1 million by the end of November.
Right. And as we've seen, these strategies are all high risk, high reward. There's a lot to consider, and it's definitely not as simple as just picking a coin and hoping for the best.
Definitely not. All right, so we've got the lay of the land. Now let's dive deeper into these specific coins. Cardano first. What jumps out at you when you look at its recent price action?
Well, that breakout is definitely eye-catching. 7 months, Cardano is just stuck, going nowhere, sideways, then boom, it just takes off. Breaks through that resistance level.
Like it was building up energy.
Exactly. Like it was just waiting for the right moment. And to me, that suggests a possible shift in how the market views Cardano.
So more people are starting to believe in it.
Could be. The article mentions some technical indicators too, like increasing trading volume that supports this idea.
Yeah.
But remember, we got to look at the bigger picture as well.
Like the whole crypto market.
Exactly. And right now, the overall sentiment is bullish. People are feeling good, optimistic, which could be giving Cardano an extra push.
So everything's kind of moving up together.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean every crypto is going to sail smoothly. There are always risks. So back to that million-dollar question. Is it realistic to think someone could turn $100 into $1 million with Cardano by the end of November?
Probably not. Let's be real. But even if we don't hit $1 million, could Cardano still be a decent investment?
That's where risk management and realistic expectations come in. This is crypto. Things change fast. Instead of chasing $1 million dream, think about what you're comfortable risking and what kind of return would make you happy. Maybe 100% gain or 200%.
Hey, don't get greedy. Speaking of risky bets,
Yeah.
let's get back to dog with hat. It's had this huge price surge lately, but can that really last?
Meme coins are all about sentiment and hype. It's impossible to predict how long that'll last.
It's like trying to time the lottery.
Kind of. With meme coins, you're betting on the crowd, and crowds can be fickle.
Okay, so maybe not the safest bet. What about loopering our potential low-cap gem? The article says it could be a good buy at its current price. Thoughts?
Remember what we said about low-cap cryptos? Do your research. Don't buy just because the price is low. Look into loopering their technology, the team behind it. Does it have a real use case? Is it solving a problem? Those are the key questions.
So even if it's called a gem, you got to be skeptical.
Always be skeptical.
Yeah.
Especially with crypto, don't take anything at face value. Do your own research. Make informed decisions.
Solid advice. So we've talked about these three coins, but what about the bigger picture? What do you look for when you're trying to figure out if a crypto has potential, especially in this crazy market?
That's a great question. It all comes down to fundamental analysis. We've already touched on some of it. Looking at the team behind the project, the technology. Do they have a solid use case?
So it's more than just charts and price movements.
Way more. Those are important, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. You also want to look at the project's white paper. That's where they lay out their goals and plans. See what people are saying online, in forums and communities. Get a sense of the overall vibe.
So be a detective, basically.
Exactly. Gather clues. And don't forget about the overall market conditions. Is it a bull market or a bear market? That context helps you understand what those individual coin movements really mean.
Like putting together a giant puzzle.
Yeah. And even then, there are no guarantees. Crypto is all about managing risk, making informed decisions, and accepting that you'll win some and lose some.
So we've covered these three coins. But are there any other signals or indicators you look for when you're checking out a crypto?
One thing I always pay attention to is adoption. Is the project gaining traction in the real world? Are businesses using it? Are people actually using the technology? That's a good sign. It means it has staying power.
It's got to be more than just hype.
Right? It needs real-world applications. Another thing I look at is development activity. Is the team actively working on the project? Are they releasing updates, making improvements? That shows commitment.
So you're looking for signs of life.
Exactly. And finally, I check out the community. Is it a passionate and engaged community? Do people believe in the project? A strong community can be a huge driver of growth.
So it's not just about the numbers. It's about the people, too.
Absolutely. Crypto is all about people. The people creating it, the people using it, the people who believe in it.
This deep dive has been super insightful. We started with this crazy goal of turning $100 into $1 million. And we've ended up exploring this whole world of crypto. But I think the key takeaway here is there's no easy path to riches in crypto. It's complicated and risky, but if you do your research and you know what you're getting into, there's definitely potential there.
Definitely. It's all about managing risk, making smart choices, and you got to be in it for the long haul. Those overnight success stories, they're the exception, not the rule.
So back to our listener's question. Can they really turn $100 into $1 million by the end of November using crypto?
It's not impossible, but it's really, really unlikely. You'd need a ton of luck.
Yeah.
Perfect timing, and a super high risk tolerance. Most people wouldn't be comfortable with that level of risk.
So maybe $1 million is a bit of a stretch. But what about a more realistic goal, like turning $100 into 1,000?
Now, that's more interesting.
Yeah.
It's still tough, but definitely possible. If you're willing to put in the work, do your research, and make smart moves.
So it's all about setting realistic expectations and having a good plan.
Exactly. And even if you don't hit your financial goals right away, the knowledge you gain along the way, that's valuable too.
It's about the journey.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm.
And who knows, maybe with some careful planning, smart moves, and a little bit of luck, that $1 million dream isn't totally out of reach. Just maybe not by the end of November. So there you have it. A healthy dose of reality mixed with a little bit of that crypto optimism. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of crypto. We hope you learned something, and maybe you're feeling inspired to do some more exploring on your own.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the crypto world. So keep learning, stay curious, and most importantly, have fun with it.